Is Apple stock heading to $200 per share or even higher in 2019? I challenged you guys in the bearish video that I created on Apple to get 100 likes and I'll create a bullish video on Apple. So you guys did achieve that, you guys did get over 100 likes. So as promised, here's the bullish video on Apple. So as always guys, I really appreciate it if you can drop a like on this video. It really helps out the channel a lot. And it also lets me know what kind of videos you guys like to see so I can create more of those. And if you're new here, of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and that bell notification. But let's get right into the video now. So my first reason for being bullish on Apple here at this point is because of share buybacks. So there is a lot of share buybacks going on right now with Apple stock. So Apple did approve a plan earlier this year to buy back $100 billion worth of their shares. And man, have they been buying shares. Last we checked, last update we had, Apple actually confirmed that they already spent around $80 billion buying back their shares so far this year. And you can almost bet with the weakness that we've been seeing in Apple stock over the last couple of months that they will most likely close out this $100 billion round either this quarter or next quarter. Now they are projected to have a pretty big revenue miss coming up in the next earnings report unless they revise down before that. And that's because of all the rumors surrounding the iPhones and cuts in production and weak sales overall. But Apple could offset this negative sentiment by buying back tons of shares, raising that EPS, and making that aspect of the earnings report beat significantly. So not only does Apple have around $20 billion left for the approved $100 billion plan to buy back their shares, but we also have another huge buyer in the market for Apple shares, and that's Berkshire Hathaway. So Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway, has been building up their Apple position left, right, and center, and now it's actually their top holding in their portfolio. So Buffett has been buying Apple shares quarter after quarter. He's been averaging into his position. He did buy shares in the 200s, I believe, because he did buy last quarter. So you can almost bet that now that the share price is close to $150 per share, that he will be scooping up tons more shares. And this overall just brings in a lot of buying pressure into the market for this stock, because when Buffett buys shares, he buys billions of dollars worth of shares. Buffett has also come out plenty of times and says why he loves Apple so much, so you can almost bet that Apple will be close to the top of his list here for purchases in the current quarter. So the first reason I'm bullish here in summary is because of the share buybacks. Apple and Berkshire Hathaway are buying tons of shares of this stock. And you gotta remember the basic of economics here. If there's less outstanding shares out there, the shares that are available become a lot more valuable. Alright, moving on to my second reason here is average selling prices have gone up significantly. Now this point addresses the iPhone unit sales issues directly. So as we talked about in the bearish video for Apple, iPhone unit sales most likely peaked out in Q1 2017, and this upcoming quarter, Q1 2019, is most likely going to be even weaker than Q1 2018. However, this does not affect Apple as much as you may think. So Apple did see this coming from a mile away, and as a result, they have been increasing their phone prices significantly over the last few years. So check out this chart over here. As you can see, Q1 for every year tends to be the strongest for Apple with average selling prices on the iPhone. Now from 2012 all the way to now in 2018, this is true. But the difference here is how significant of a price bump we've had when the iPhone X was released. And this of course has helped revenue beat in earnings reports and has beat expectations throughout 2018. Now if we look closely, average selling price here has climbed from around $620 per unit to almost $800 per unit in a single year. That's a 29% increase, yet people still continue to buy iPhones. So now going by this data and going under the assumption that every single quarter one Apple has their best quarter of the year, we can also make a safe assumption here that in Q1 2019, Apple will have another blowout record quarter. And this is obviously not thanks to the number of units sold, because that is most likely going to go down, but it is thanks to the average selling price, which has gone up in the last few years. And remember, a lot of the bearish concerns that we talked about, like the iPhone ban or the tariffs potentially being imposed on iPhones, all of that does not really come into effect for the most part in this current quarter. And if it does come into effect, it'll be either in the next quarter or the quarter after that. So I'm very confident here that Apple will have a pretty good beat here in the next earnings report, even if the rumors of them cutting production on the iPhones is true. That average selling price could be a lifesaver for the company. Or could it? Actually, this brings me to my third point, which is their services business is exploding. So services has been a very hot topic when talking about Apple for the last couple of years or so. And as you can see from this chart here, it's pretty obvious why that is. This has been a business that's growing double digits year over year and has finished the last quarter around $10 billion in revenue. And let's not forget, the services business is almost a straight profit machine for Apple here. So this money is going to go straight to the balance sheet, and then from the balance sheet, they're most likely going to approve more share buybacks in the future. It's going to go back into the stock. It's going to make the current shares more valuable, and the cycle just repeats and repeats. So from this article right here, you can see there's actually some big predictions out there on their services business. And you can see this article here specifically says that they predict that the services will grow over $100 billion in revenue in the next 5 years. Now that's a bit optimistic, but possible if we continue in a strong economy, especially with 5G around the corner. Now my prediction is that Apple will actually be investing a lot more money in digital content moving forward to compete with the likes of Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, or even Disney with the new platform in 2019. And Apple, if any company out there, definitely has the money to back this up and pump money into production for these original contents that they plan to create. And this, of course, will be in hopes that it draws more people into their ecosystem, and as a result, will cause those people to purchase more Apple products. Now, apart from this, also, if you're not sure what their services business includes, it includes things like Apple Music, Apple Care, Apple Pay, or any other service like that Apple offers. So really, in summary, my third point here is that I am very bullish on Apple because of their services business. Now, these are the three main reasons I would say that I'm bullish on Apple going into 2019. However, there are other reasons which I have not gone into depth here, which do add to the bullish case, and I'll quickly go over that right now. So the first is 5G rollout in late 2019 or early 2020. This will most likely be the next cycle in the iPhones when they release 5G iPhones to take full advantage of 5G technology. So a lot of people who are holding back on upgrades may upgrade in 2019, 2020. The next thing is this self-driving project that they're putting a lot of money into and a lot of R&D into. This is something that's projected to be pretty big in the future, of course, with autonomous driving, so it's another huge driving factor that could grow this company significantly in the future. Another thing is their dividend, which is almost at a 2% yield currently with current prices, and of course it's expected to grow significantly year over year. Or maybe it's some of their other successful products like the new iPad lineup, or even the Apple Watch, which is getting a lot of headlines recently with its health tracking, health monitoring system. All in all, I would say that Apple has done an excellent job here building out a very robust ecosystem that once someone gets into, they tend to buy other Apple products to stay within that ecosystem as well. If you are an investor for the long term, it's very difficult to come up with reasons why you shouldn't invest in Apple. But if you do have reasons, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd be glad to hear them out, and I'd be glad to see your perspective here from a bearish standpoint. Either way, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to get 100 likes on this video as well to show your support. I appreciate every single one of you. This may be the last video for a little while over the holidays here. We'll see. But either way, guys, don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.